We got a guy in Jaron Ennis right now who's killing everybody. You know, Floyd is praising him, Roy Jones, everybody really.
Yeah, nah, he's nice as hell, but you know, I'm at the point of my career, the money right, I'll fight anybody, so I ain't tripping.
Errol Spence is now putting Jaron "Boots" Ennis on notice, and the message feels simple. If Boots wants a big fight, Spence is...
Errol Spence has now put Jaron "Boots" Ennis on alert, and the message comes across as straightforward. If Boots is looking for a major fight, Spence is available and ready. He mentioned that he believes fans would rather see him take on Spence, Crawford, or Thurman. That is what makes this whole situation so compelling. Boots has been calling out the biggest names ever since his victory, talking like he is prepared to face anyone in his path. But Errol Spence is not just another fighter on the list. He is a former unified champion who brings pressure, body punching, experience, and a strong desire to prove himself again. For Spence, taking on Boots would be more than just a return bout. It would be an opportunity to show people that one bad performance does not cancel out everything he has accomplished over his career. And for Boots, it would be another big test against a name that fans still hold in high regard. So now the pressure goes in both directions. Boots claims he wants to fight the best, and Spence sounds like he is ready to accept the challenge. If this matchup happens next, it would reveal a lot about where both fighters truly stand in the sport.
That we proclaimed Boots and we gave him all these accolades too soon. He hadn't had that fight yet. We gave it to him too soon.
Boots spoke about the possibility of fighting Errol Spence or Terence Crawford, and his response made it clear where his head is at right now. He said he is not avoiding any big name. If Spence is across the ring from him, he thinks he can win. If Crawford is across from him, he thinks he can win too. For him, the opponent does not change what he is trying to do. He wants the biggest matchups, the biggest titles, and the chance to show he is the best fighter in the division. But his larger goal is to become undisputed champion. Boots is not just chasing one big fight for attention. He wants to collect every belt and leave no doubt about who rules the weight class. That is why names like Spence and Crawford matter so much. They are fighters with strong legacies, and beating either one would move Ennis closer to the level he believes he truly belongs at.
They holding up the, Terence Crawford and Errol Spence is holding up the weight division. We trying to figure out what they gonna do, but I mean, at the end of the day, either they gotta fight me or they gotta move up or they gotta, do something because they holding up the division. That's it. I feel like this is definitely the year. I will be, a world champion this year, and like I said before, once I get my hands on one of those belts, it's up. All I need is to touch one, and then once I touch one, I'm gonna collect the rest. And I'm going to go ahead and move up and do the same thing at 54, be undisputed there too. So that's my goal, every weight, 47, 50, 54, 60, and maybe 68, depending on how...
Boots did not come across as disrespectful toward Spence, but he was clearly sure of what he brings into the ring. From his perspective, he believes he is the better, more skilled, and more complete fighter right now. He knows Spence has experience, pressure, and a strong reputation, but Boots thinks his own speed, angles, variety of punches, and movement would be too difficult for Spence to handle if they ever face each other. He also talked about the work he puts in behind the scenes. Boots trains hard, stays fully focused, and has his father Boozy Ennis guiding him through every step. That matters because Boots does not view his success as just natural ability. He sees it as the result of preparation, self-discipline, and a team that knows exactly what they are building toward. So when Spence's name comes up, Boots gives a simple answer. He respects the name, but he believes that if they step into the ring together, he has the talent, the training, and the backing to beat Errol.
I'm always in the gym, like I said before, like after I went on Saturday, I'm right back in the gym on Monday, get right back to the grind, perfect myself, perfect my craft. Young, hungry, I'm great at everything. I got speed, power, defense. I can do it all. Like I always say, I'm a variety pack. I can do everything. And you just pick your favorite chip, and I give it to you that way. The older fighters and things like that, and studying myself, looking at things that I can get better at. It's a lot of things. I can keep going. Like that's how I know I'm always ahead of these guys, because I'm never letting them get one up on me, and I'm always be,
Then Greg Hackett shared his view on the matchup between Jaron "Boots" Ennis and Errol Spence, and he leaned toward Boots being able to handle that fight. His reasoning was that Boots has too many tools at this point in his career. He possesses speed, size, angles, the ability to switch stances, and creative punch combinations that would keep Spence from finding any kind of rhythm. Even if Spence tries to apply pressure and attack the body, Greg believes Boots has the footwork and sharp counterpunching ability to handle it. That is why he does not view Spence as the same threat he used to be. Spence still has a respected name and championship-level experience, but Boots is younger, fresher, and more active right now. Greg thinks Ennis can control the distance, force Spence to reset, and make him pay when he tries to push his way inside. So according to Greg, Boots is not just prepared for Spence, he has the style and skill set to deal with him effectively.
We ain't see this, we ain't see that. But the truth is, man, the kid is talented and he work hard, and the combination of the two, you can see clearly, you know what I mean, through his performance. And he's confident, you know what I mean, he can punch, speed, what you want. You know what I mean? I like it.
Do you feel like he's ready for the Terrence Crawfords, the Errol Spences?
I say Spence in one more fight, I say Crawford in 2 more fights. The reason being, Spence comes with less tricks than Crawford, but I believe is also equal as being dangerous. The thing is, Spence is going to give Boots a little bit more of what he's looking for, which is for a guy to be acting tough and standing there and trying to fight with him. Spence can box, but I don't think he keep it up all night, especially not.
At the same time, Tim Tszyu is sending a retirement warning to Errol Spence Jr., and he is also keeping the door open for a future fight with Jaron "Boots" Ennis, which is what makes this whole situation so interesting. Tszyu is not speaking like a fighter who views Spence as some unbeatable force. He sees Errol as a respected former champion, but also as a fighter who is coming back with real questions surrounding him after the loss to Crawford, the time away from the ring, and the step into another tough matchup. Tszyu knows that this fight could determine whether Spence still belongs at the highest level or if the talk about retirement will only get louder.
But I feel like Errol's is a monotone type guy. He's what he's good at is that constant pressure, constant punching, and it doesn't have to be flashy and quick and stuff like that. He knows when to throw the punch, and he keeps on going until you have to be until it's sink or swim type situation. So that's what he's good at.
Yeah, and I know, like, you always want to prepare for the best version of Errol, but there is that sense of do you think there's that sense of unknown, being like, we don't know how he's going to look at a new weight, hasn't boxed for ages, like that sense of, there's still that sense of unknown because you still don't know what sort of version of Errol you're going to get?
No, not really. I'm preparing for the best. The biggest thing for me is to test his heart. How bad does he want it? You know, when you've been there, done that in the sport, it's sort of like, do I need to do this? Do I need to keep on going? You know, that's what I want to test when he starts talking to himself.
Yeah. Do you think his heart, he can question, you will make him question himself in there?
But Tszyu is also looking beyond Spence by showing that he is open to a fight with Boots Ennis. He is making it clear that he wants to be around the biggest names in the division. And Boots is younger, sharper, faster, and chasing undisputed status. So that would be a completely different kind of test. And for Tszyu, that is exactly the point. He wants matchups that show where he truly stands in the sport.
54-pound fight the weekend just gone of Boots and Xander Zayas. Yeah, I know you're focused and locked in on camp, but did you get a chance to see the fight?
I didn't watch the fight, I'll be honest. I should have, but I didn't. But I watched the highlights, and exactly what I thought, you know. But Xander did hit him, did wobble him to a certain extent, you know. But Boots was too classy.
Do you think you view Boots as a future opponent of you one day?
Then Roy Jones Jr. shared his opinion and leaned toward Boots being able to win that fight. Roy's main point was that Boots has the kind of tools that could give Spence trouble at this point in his career. He has speed, size, sharp counterpunching, angles, and the ability to switch up his approach before an opponent can fully adjust. Against a pressure fighter like Spence, that matters a lot because Boots would not have to stay in one place and let Errol walk him down. Roy still respects everything Spence has accomplished in boxing, but he also understands the importance of timing. Errol is coming back with questions surrounding his physical condition, his sharpness, and whether he is still the same fighter after the Crawford loss. Boots, on the other hand, is active, confident, and looking stronger at the weight. So according to Roy, this is the kind of fight where Boots could prove that he is ready to move past the older names and become the new threat in the division.
Once he felt like he was in control, and I know, just from watching him, I know that's what happened, because I've seen that happen to myself. When you get in control, your senses go down a little bit. Now it's not, oh my goodness, I got to be on point no more. No, it's like, oh, I got it, that's over with. You know, and that's what he felt like. Then wham, he got caught. So I don't think his defense is that big of a problem. Matter of fact, the guy he fought from over there in Spain, I don't remember his last name, but that guy was a hell of a puncher too. Never could lay a glove on Boots. Couldn't put a glove on Boots, but he was known as a puncher. A knockout guy that most people had avoided. A lot of these guys in the welterweight division had turned that Steonis or whatever his name was. A lot of these guys over here turned that guy down. They didn't really want to fight him because he was too big of a risk, but not enough of a name. Boots took him to school. I mean, took him to school. He could not lay a glove on Boots because he was at that. Boots had him senses heightened because that was another level for Boots. So I think when it comes time for Boots to do what he needs to do, he can pick the defense up. It's just a matter of...
Andre Ward respects Boots' talent. He sees the speed, the size, the ability to switch stances, and the confidence. But when it comes to Errol Spence, Ward looks at the experience, the pressure, and the championship mindset. Spence has been in bigger fights, faced tougher opponents, and knows how to break down other fighters with discipline. That is why Ward is not quick to write Errol off just because of the Crawford loss. He understands that one bad performance does not erase everything Spence has accomplished. If Errol is healthy, focused, and physically right, Ward believes his pressure and body punching could make Boots uncomfortable. So according to Andre Ward, Boots may be the younger and more flashy fighter, but Spence has the experience and style to test him in ways he has not fully experienced yet. And that is why Ward believes Errol can beat him if they step into the ring.
But I'm talking about the mental lapses. Boots said I went to sleep. All I'm saying is whether you in the gym, you're gonna get hit, stuff is gonna happen. You're gonna get hit in fights, stuff is gonna happen. But you're not going to hit me because I fell asleep. That's the point that I'm making. You catch me in an exchange, you set me up, I don't see something coming, I thought you was out of range, but you was in range. That's
Robert Garcia also respects what Spence has accomplished over his career. He knows that Errol is not just your typical pressure fighter. At his best, Spence breaks opponents down with body shots, strength, discipline, and steady pressure that never lets up. So Robert would not act like Boots could just roll over him because of one loss to Crawford. But Robert also understands where Boots is right now. Ennis is younger, fresher, sharper, and full of confidence. He has the speed, angles, switch hitting ability, and variety in his punches to make Spence work hard for every step forward. If Boots stays disciplined and does not get overconfident, Robert believes he has the tools to control the action. So Robert's view is not that Spence is done as a fighter. It is that Boots may be catching him at the right moment in their careers. If Errol is healthy and close to his old form, then it becomes a much tougher fight to call.
And when we were watching that, I was surrounded by a lot of Boots fans, and I looked at them and they said, "That's Virgil hits him like that, he ain't getting up." And I guarantee you guys, everybody, he ain't getting up. So yeah, that's the first thing that came to my mind. We also, also have to know that Boots hits hard too. He showed it. Sayas showed a lot of hard those rounds. He came to fight. I thought it was going to be a fight where Sayas tries to take into the later rounds because of his size. He was just a bigger man. I thought Sayas was going to take the fight into the later rounds, but Sayas came to fight. I also give respect to Sayas. I got to give him credit. I think he also showed a lot of heart and put up a great fight. But Boots is the one that I expected him to fight more, trying to get into a decision. But he showed his.
Then Teddy Atlas gave a more careful take on Jaron Boots Ennis, and he did not simply follow the hype. Teddy's point was that Boots clearly has talent, but he still has not faced the kind of opposition that matches the way people talk about him. Fans are calling him special, dangerous, and possibly the next big name in boxing. But Teddy is looking at the resume. He wants to see Boots prove himself against a fighter who can truly test his discipline, his defense, and his ability to make adjustments when things start to get difficult.
Started off though with Boots in full control. Scored a big knockdown early in the fight, and maybe he lost a little concentration, and he gave a moment to Zayas in that third round, as you said, to have his moment and put Boots. Legs were wobbling, he was in big trouble.
Fighting at the very top level is completely different. At that stage, talent by itself is not enough. You also need patience, focus, solid defense, and the ability to stay sharp when your opponent is not afraid of your power. So Teddy's message is straightforward. Boots might be as good as everyone believes, but now he has to face the kind of opponents that prove the hype is real.
Proclaimed this sure great superstar fighter, and he became a star. There's no doubt about it. Tonight he verified being a star for me, because going in, I'm not afraid to say, I say what I believe. As some people, they hate, they throw things at you. It's fine. That's what makes this thing what it is there's give and take. You have a chance to agree with me and disagree with me. But he never had that signature. You know, Ali needed Frazier and other guys. Boots, for all the talent, again, we proclaimed them this sure thing, surefire great fighter, without having that signature fight that confirmed it, that really, and this was that fight. Now, the kid was too young, but it don't matter. This became that.
Bernie Thaw, a former boxer, gave a very honest take on Jaron Boots Ennis and made it clear that talent alone is no longer enough at this stage. Bernie's point was that Boots has the skills, the power, and the appearance of a special fighter, but now he has to face real professionals to prove his worth. It is one thing to look dominant against opponents you are expected to beat. It is completely different when you are in the ring with champions, veterans, and dangerous names who know how to adjust and punish mistakes. That is why Bernie is not fully swept up by all the hype. He sees the ability, but he wants to see proof at the highest level. Boots needs to face fighters who can truly test his defense, his patience, his chin, and his composure when things are not going perfectly his way. So Bernie's message is simple. Boots may be great, but now his resume has to catch up with his talent. If he wants the respect that people are already giving him, he has to beat the kind of fighters who make that respect impossible to deny.
Boots is on his way. Let's match him up with the guys. Like I say, ain't no turning back now. It's Fundora, it's Virgil, it's you know what I'm saying, it's Charlo. You know, I don't know who other 54 pounds out there making no noise, but it's those guys, you know, that's where it's at right now for him. There's no turning back. He's 35-0, you know, so we can't fight Limas no more. You know, we it's up from here, you know. And like I say, if y'all believe in him that much, and like I say, he brought the crowd out too, even though I've heard a lot of cheers for him as well. You know, so, you know, however you got to run it. You know, this guy, you know, him and Fundora obviously will be a Vegas fight. Him and Boots will be a Vegas fight. Him and Virgil will be a...
Greg Hackett understands why so many people are high on Boots Ennis. The talent is clear for everyone to see. He has speed, power, angles, the ability to switch stances, and the kind of offensive creativity that sets him apart from most fighters in his weight class. But Greg also knows that boxing does not fully recognize you based on talent alone. At some point, you have to beat the names that make people stop doubting you. That is why his view lines up with what others have said. Boots has to face real professionals right now, not just decent opponents, but fighters who know how to survive, adjust, apply pressure, throw counters, and make things uncomfortable for him. Those are the kinds of fights that show whether a fighter is simply dangerous or truly elite.
Kind of to the point where it wasn't easy, but it was like, all right, he right here, so it's not so hard to get to him. And I think that's why, you know, when he got caught in the third round, I think that's what happened. He put himself in front of him to be caught with a shot because he was thinking, all right, I might as well just jump on because I already dropped him, you know what I mean? And I'm just putting my hands on him. And it wasn't, like I said, it wasn't easy because Xander was firing back, and that was kind of heavy. You know what I mean? Xander a big dude. And that's what I realized too. He a real big guy. And I actually seen him after the fight when he got back from the hospital. Because I stayed in the hotel like that was next door to his. So and I was walking down the street, he hopped out the truck. So I got to see him. He was showing love to the people and all that. But, you know what I mean? It's just like I said in the beginning though. He just wasn't going to be able to keep up with the punch rate, the volume. You know what I mean? It was going.
All right, everyone. Stay tuned for the latest in boxing news, highlights, events, and stories. Subscribe to and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Be sure to watch our other videos too. Until next time, take care and stay safe.